Dearly beloved, we are gathered here as fugitives in one of the last bastions of sanity to get through this thing they call life, as the Not Milk breaks down the outer ring of reality. I'm not going to spend too much time on this headline. I want to talk about it briefly. You know, I don't watch the world news. I don't go over headlines very much. I try to stay away from it. It's incredible that they're recycling it again. I do want to talk about it for a few minutes. It's absolutely unbelievable. They're bringing this back around again. Headline: Trump flails as Epstein's storm rages around his government. I mostly want to talk about this. This was the initial headline that got my attention. Major League Baseball is putting automated balls and strikes to the test in the All-Star game, which I think is tonight. Some pitchers aren't exactly thrilled. The endless march by Not Milk towards more and more technology. It just can't help itself. More and more automation, more and more AI. Those that are, run in our circles, who said 10 years ago that the final bad guy here, Matt, is some sort of AI, some sort of computer program. And this does lend credibility to that, but I don't believe that. I believe this is very simple, what's going on regarding how we study Not Milk. It's just the endless march towards dehumanization. And a quick note before I come back to this: Pootie Tang Awards will be given out much more frequently than they have in the past. I mean, is somebody going to comment to me that baseball is the square and compass? Like, it's our first conspiracy video? I've got to talk about the comments per yesterday's Teddy Roosevelt and FDR blank attempts video. Some of the comments, let me just do that now. It's incredible. People still don't understand the Mandela Effect. Even if it's not a Mandela Effect, their comment shows me they don't know. They have no idea what we're even talking about. How is that possible in 2025? A quick note or small conversation about this channel. Guys, as you know, my understanding of this reality is a half page, basically. It's very simple. There's an adversary here that blocks real spiritual beings from doing what it's supposed to do. It's very simple. No, I personally don't think we need no God or ask permission to go here or go there. It's very simple. Okay, so how do I keep this going with a half page? Well, a few jokes here and there, a few Melvin and Bezos, but also I'm going to challenge more people, even in the comments. And why I'm showing this picture here from Django Unchained of Big Daddy, it came to me. He said, what if I told you I don't like you? See, a lot of people are not going to grow to not like me, but I'm going to challenge people rather harshly. Some comments, that'll keep it exciting. So you don't have to like me. You might want to come here just to see what goes down. And I'm not going to get nasty or anything, but I'm just saying over time, a good percentage of you won't like me very much. But you say, but this asshole has some interesting things to say about reality. So I tune in. You're going to be like Big Daddy, and I'll be not Django, but Dr. Fritz. You'll be saying, what if I told you, quantum of conscience, I don't like you, and I wouldn't do business with you? But hopefully you'll continue to tune in here, because it will be interesting, the people that I challenge and the way I challenge them and some of the things I say. But I think a large percentage, as I challenge more, they're not going to like me. I'll make enemies all the way around. And right now I'm going to make a few enemies with those that commented in the same old way, kind of about fluid reality and the Mandela Effect from the last video. First off, regarding yesterday's video and the ridiculous set of circumstances of which the Not Milk is asking us to believe that Teddy Roosevelt took one in the chest, but I'm going to do my speech. You got one in the chest. There was an attempt but I'm going to continue or even start the speech. I'm going to speak for an hour. I'll go to the hospital some other time. I didn't say this definitely was a Mandela Effect, even though the Not Milk has demonstrated now that things that come from the screen or the outer ring of reality in our concentric rings reality diagram, very fluid. Things change. It's aligning everything to the year 1933. It's aligning everything to the year 1911. We see this all the time. It's amazing how many people here or at channels like this can't accept fluid reality / Mandela Effect coming from the outer ring or screen of reality, the domain that Not Milk controls. I didn't say it definitely was a Mandela Effect. I said it could be. But I said, no matter what it is, it's a ridiculous set of circumstances that there's no possible way it happened the way history says. I mean, give me a break. Teddy, you just took one and you're going to continue your speech. I'm tough. I'm a bull moose. Come on. If anything, it's just cake in a lake. If anything, it's just made up. And somebody shoved a piece of gum in his pocket and rubbed it around and said, now you pretend you just took one. It's if any at the one side of the sliding scale just made up. But it could be a Mandela effect, but here we go again. People simply do not understand the Mandela effect or fluid reality. They come forth with comments like, well, Matt, I learned about that in third grade. What does that matter? Let me just do this one more time. If it's a Mandela effect or fluid reality, and I perceive a change to my reality, it's possible I just missed this. It's possible I just missed that Brady Bunch special that I didn't catch. I said it might be a Mandela effect. There's certain things that I call anchors where I know reality's changed 100%. Just like saying, do you know your mother's maiden name? But what if I came along and said it's Jones and here's all the documentation? Would you believe me or what you remember about your mother's maiden name? Or even your mother's first name. It's that, or an anchor effect is that crystal clear. So telling me you remember this news story or remember learning about it in school, well, that means nothing in terms of it being a fluid reality or anchor effect. People don't understand this? If there is a change to reality that I perceive, it's retrocausal in nature. It means reality back to the beginning of time or back to the day they say the event took place. It's always been that way. It resets back through time. So it makes perfect sense. You learned about it in third grade in 1958 or what? Because it resets back through time. It doesn't mean, I remember that from the past. That's not the way the Mandela effect works. It's the most frustrating thing to those that see the Mandela effect. They'll be like, that can't be because I remember this. Yes, it resets and then it goes back through time. So if your second grade class was 40 years ago, you learned about it. That makes perfect sense. Oh no, this just got my attention. 1 minute or less. We'll move off this, but it says, if you're long haul trucking, AI's anti-Semitism. The AI is anti-Semitic. But this is a news article. AI anti-Semitism problem is bigger than Grok. Grok is Elon Musk's LLM, large language model, Frankenstein monster. So the AI, something that's supposed to be completely objective and impartial, even that hates these people? These people can't get a break. What's next? The sun hates these people? The moon hates these little squirrels running the opposite direction when they're about to bury a nut? The AI is supposed to be completely impartial and objective. It's just a computer programmer. Now even that hates this group. And the AI is anti-Semitic. I mean, come on. It is unbelievable. Guys, I used to joke about not milk-free zone, but this is serious now. This is very reciteer. If we were given any sort of an offer to go off anywhere except maybe the North Pole and be left alone, I'm open to it. Not milk, please make us an offer. The not milk-free zone is for real. I can't take this anymore. Okay, we started with this. Let me complain about this for a few minutes, get this one out of the way, and then I want to spend more time on Major League Baseball becoming even more automated, and eventually they'll get rid of those useless bums that call the balls and the strikes that make $400,000 to $500,000 a year, standing back there getting fat, calling, but they're not that. The umpires union's going to be upset. Let's just do this Epstein stuff. Can you believe they're bringing this around again? This is like back in the first term, it was Russians hack the election, Russians hack the election, Russians hack the election. Every 2 weeks, Russians hack the election. And then months and months and years went on and said, what does that even mean? Nobody even knew. What does that even mean? It just went on and on. It's incredible. What's most incredible is the people around us. The American people deserve to know the truth. I've never read this. The whole trust and nothing but the truth as it relates to the whole sordid Jeffrey Epstein matter. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, who the hell is that, told reporters Monday. So he got it wrong? This Hakeem Jeffries said they deserve to know the truth, the whole trust, and nothing but the truth? Shouldn't it be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? What's this whole trust? Did Hakeem Jeffries, that idiot, make the mistake, or did the bot make the mistake in its translation? House Minority Leader. He tried to widen the MAGA splits. Quote, this was a conspiracy theory that Donald Trump, Pam Bondi, and these MAGA extremists have been fanning the flames for the last several years. And now the chickens are coming home to roost. Oh my God. Look at this. This is interesting. One reason why is that it's become central to an argument that Trump and his aides promoted for years, that the United States is under the control of a, quote, deep state of intelligence agencies, billionaire financiers, and shady political forces that are orchestrating events behind the scenes. That's like some sort of a truth drop, but it doesn't go far enough. It's not deep state. Deep state reports the not milk, but we'll get into that in a second. Trump tapped into this false mythology to build his own power. It's not in any way false, but it doesn't go far enough, portraying himself as a victim of CIA and FBI plots and weaponized justice because he was the avatar of the hopes of MAGA followers across the country. Like I said, much of this is true, but it doesn't go far enough. What sort of an idiot would believe that an elected president, some civilian that's supposedly got votes, goes in and has ultimate power over all this infrastructure? I mean, what sort of moron would believe that in 2025? At least its presentation in 1970 was more believable. Some idiot he got the votes. He thinks he got the votes because the deep state and everything in control here gave him the votes and rigged the whole thing. But it doesn't go far enough. Maybe even those in deep state and financiers, and the old money still exists, they may even believe they're in power. They're on the frequency. There is no final bad guy here in this reality. They are on the download in the frequency. They are doing the bidding of what I call not milk. It's something you never can point at. So yes, of course, the deep state and the old infrastructures are more in charge, and the big money is more in charge than any civilian, some idiot that's elected because he got votes. I mean, that's absurd. Who could believe that? But it doesn't go far enough. Those agencies or secret societies or whatever that think they're in control, they don't even know themselves, in my opinion. They serve the frequency itself. They serve the not milk. The first sentence of the second paragraph. Trump tapped into this false mythology to build his own power, portraying himself as a victim of CIA and FBI plots. Guys, let me be clear about one thing. I mean, at certain levels, many levels, they know they're just carrying forth a script. I don't mean to suggest that Trump believes he's a real president. Obama may have. They may have just fooled him all the way around. He was a completely useful idiot. He may have believed he was a real Trump knows. He's just like when he appeared before Vince McMahon in the WWE, WWF, and wrestling. Trump knows. I mean, he has no power. You know, my theory is, again, he was approached 20 years ago. Somebody offered to get him out of his debts, and he would be asked to do a favor for the system, and he's playing a role. Of course, he knows he has no power. I think Trump understands this. Obama might not have, but we'll talk about that some other time. But at certain levels, of course, they know they're just literally just actors. But those at the higher levels, and again, the billionaires and the financiers and the secret societies believe we're the ones calling the shots. I believe they're fooled, in my opinion. They are doing the bidding of not milk, and they wouldn't even know what we're talking about, most of them, in my opinion. To end this segment, I scanned a very, very long article, and there's really nothing here. It's just vague notions about now Trump is tied in with Epstein again. I mean, there's literally, it goes page after page, or what would be the equivalent of pages in a book. I don't know how many thousands of words the article is. It's just like when I started to look at the Diddy trial, all this stuff that he supposedly did this, there's nothing there. It was like, well, why exactly is this coming around again? Just some language that's some loose association with Epstein and very vague notions. I guess this is all the American idiots don't want to be an American idiot. That was a Green Day song. I guess the people they don't expect any sort of clarity anymore, just these vague paragraphs. It just gets them through to the next time they can eat or something. Let's go over to what I really wanted to talk about. Major League Baseball is putting in automated balls and strikes, more technology. It just can't help itself. The caption says, the automated ball strike system plays on the scoreboard after a pitch call was challenged during the first inning of a spring training baseball game between the Chicago White Sox and the San Diego Padres. So they implemented it, I guess, during spring training to a degree, where you can, just like the tennis system for years, no longer, you could challenge certain calls. So you'd have the dopes, in tennis at least, this went on for 8 to 10 years, you have the dopes sitting on the lines going out, fault, let, and then the person could say, the tennis player could say, that was wrong. You son of a beach. You called it wrong. You should be fired. I'm gonna embarrass you right here, and I'm gonna challenge using the electronic system. Now, the electronic system was always deemed to be 100% accurate, right down to 1/2 of 1 millimeter. So they would challenge, and then, oh, it was actually out. You got it wrong, you putz sitting on the line. So the people sitting on the lines were constantly embarrassed, and eventually, we can't have this. Then they just got rid of all of them. And they're going to follow. And then, of course, now in tennis is 100% automated. I think the French Open still uses the linesman, but it's all automated right down to the millimeter, all AI. And, there's no reason to call in or out anymore. And baseball here, of course, is going to follow the exact same model. The hottest topic in Atlanta ahead Tuesday's major list. Bot, look at the balloon. Look at the balloon boy. The bot can't even write. Look at the hottest topic in Atlanta ahead of Tuesdays. It says ahead Tuesdays. Major League Baseball isn't a player, a coach, or a manager. It's not even human. Well, how about the not even human that wrote this? If you're going to get a bot to write, it should be accurate. It just says, guys, it says ahead Tuesdays. What the heck? It forgot the of. Oh boy, let me skip to the third paragraph. For the first time, the Midsummer Classic, it's not a classic, it's a bunch of overpaid bums, is going to be using automated technology to allow pitchers, catchers, and batters to challenge balls and strikes. The challenge system, just like in tennis, guys. You could turn around to that fat umpire and say, I'm challenging this. You got it wrong, you son of a beach. They're going to embarrass, and for 500, they're going to say, well, we're making $500,000 a year. Probably some at this point literally make 700,000 or 800,000. I remember the $400,000 salaries like 20 years ago, so it's probably, maybe the umpires make $1 million a year. It's possible. But now they're going to be just embarrassed out of existence. A system that's been in use in the minor leagues and in spring training, but had never been put in place before at a major league park. I wonder how the movie The Lawnmower Man would stack up today. Would it be just completely dated and kind of ridiculous? Has anybody seen it recently? I guess I saw it over 30 years ago. Or would it be very interesting and predictive as to what would be coming? The guy there, center left, he's a little off as he cuts lawns or something. He's just he's like Forrest Gump, but not quite as intelligent. And then somehow, I don't know how he gets jacked into this technology, because this is before the internet. I don't know. Let me know if I should see it again. But he becomes this million IQ AI god type thing. I don't know. It might be worth another watch. But it just made me where technology is going made me think of this Lawnmower Man. And in sports, it just can't help itself in all facets of technology. The technology has to continue to expand. There's never a point in a game where you throw a ball or a pigskin or baseball or tennis where we say we like the human. No, it never goes this way. The pendulum always swings in one direction. It never swings back, not even for a single sport, which again is a reality giveaway. We're just one of those people for saying it, but nobody around us notices. If anything were real, maybe tennis would go the way of technology, and there's too many calls that are missed and key calls at key times, so we're putting to technology and all the lines people. And they had at least, I think they had 4 or 6 lines people. They had a lot of people working all these matches. They're all gone except for the French Open. But you would think, well, if anything were real, somebody would push back. What gives this reality away is that the tide goes out and everything goes out with the tide. In any real reality, you'd have one sport, football, baseball, just saying, you know what, we're going to hold on to the old traditions. If anything were real, one sport, football, nobody wants all this replay all the time, and let's stop and look at the replay. Was it a fumble or not a fumble? Nobody wants all this technology, yet it keeps coming, and everybody knows nobody wants it, yet it's just normal to everybody around us that it just keeps coming. Again, last thing, if anything were real, one sport would push back, and baseball would say, we want to preserve the old traditions of baseball, what it was in the 30s and the 40s and the 50s and the 60s. And we're going to always have real umpires. And, sometimes arguing with the umpires is part of the game. It's part of the fun. You've seen these movies. Come on, it's Field of Dreams. Come on, ump, give us a break, ump. That was part of the game, yelling at the ump. No, this is a not nil giveaway, as everything is anymore. Only we can see it. Removing, it's an attempt, it's very simple what's going on here, that we call it the human element. The element of just being in this body, in this avatar. There's things about this experience that make us, we're what they call human. And it's always out to remove the human element, the interaction amongst people. Even arguing with the umpire is an interaction amongst people. And getting Billy Martin, the old manager from 40 years ago, in the face of the umpire, and he gets thrown out. You're out of here. You can't throw me out. It was part of the game, even though it was a kind of a nasty argument or part of it. Now, just completely balls and strikes will be, of course, will be called via this AI system or whatever. Of course, the umpires, bye bye, umpires, you fatties that make $800,000 a year that just sit back there and scratch your balls. Bye bye, y'all. This is the one group that I don't want the technology to take over everything. If I had to pick, I would have to say let's stick with the umps, but I don't like this group of people. I loathed them 25 years ago when they went on strike, and the average salary 25 years ago, the average salary was like $370,000, and they went on strike for more. These bums. So no, I don't like this group very much. So you go work at Dunkin' Donuts, umps. Bye bye. You get free donuts. Get rid of them, fine. But if it was up to me, I'd say no. Let's keep the technology out of this. And again, does everybody want this? Nobody wants it. People generally like the umpires, but the technology keeps encroaching in every aspect of our reality, and everybody just around us, your Aunt Ginny and your cousins and your brothers and your cousins, brothers, uncles, monkey, everybody just thinks it's normal. And if you push back and say there's something about reality itself that's abnormal, then as usual, you're just one of those people. Thanks for listening.